While the gymnasts are going through their warm-up routines, I managed to catch a few moments with Jasmine Meeker. She's a coach and technical director of Acrobatics Victoria. Jasmine, thanks for being here with us today.
No worries.
Now, how long have you been a coach and what makes you proud to be a part of this sport?
I've been a coach for about 15 years and I've been involved in acrobatics for the last 10 years. I think it's a really great sport because it gives kids a chance to be involved for a really long time. So they start off when they're young, they start off as tops or the flyers, ones that get tossed around. And then as they get older and they move into being a middle or being a base, or they can come in from other gym sports, say, or dancing, and they come in and they can start off as a base. So they don't need to be really little to do it. So it's really great because it's a sport that everyone can be involved in.
Sure. And how did you become a technical director, and tell us a bit about your role if you can.
Well, I was the coaching coordinator previously and I moved into the technical director position earlier this year. So what we're most excited about at the moment is introducing some new programs at the grassroots level so we can try and increase participation in the sport and increase awareness of the sport on a local and a state and within Australia. So I think that you might have seen Odyssey on TV. That was a really good promotion for the sport, and there's been a few other things within the Olympics with Spellbound and things like that. So it is really good that it's a gym sport and it's competitive, but the kids can also move into performance. So Cirque du Soleil gets a lot of their performers from acrobatics and things like that. So I think in Australia or in Victoria at the moment, we're really trying to push participation and growth of the sport, and then hopefully later on that'll filter through to our higher, more competitive levels.
Wonderful. And I understand you've got some of the girls here today?
Yeah, we've got a few of our athletes are here helping out. So yeah, I think we might have a chat with some of them.
And we're back at the 2012 Acrobatic Gymnastics Victorian Championships and State Pennant with a level 6 mixed pair, Alan Keating and Jackie Wilson.
As the bucket to shoulders mount there, and Jackie will press to handstand. She'll need to hold that handstand position for 3 seconds before coming down. The judges will be watching her landing position as well to make sure her landing's not too deep.
What's the judging system? How does that work? You've got artistic, execution and difficulty.
That's right, the judging is based out of 30, so your difficulty score is out of 10, the same with your artistry and execution score. Difficulty score is based on the elements within the routine. Your artistic score is based on the artistic performance given on the floor, and your execution score is based on how well each element is completed, whether it's an individual skill or a group pyramid. There's a split flag there.
So there's quite a lot of strength. He's holding her up with one hand there. It looks quite difficult.
Yeah, basing does require a lot of strength and stability. It's a one-arm backbird lift there. And Alan will transition to a seat position. He'll need to hold that as well down the bottom for the transition to count.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you.
Good. So I heard some exciting news. You placed second at the Nationals in May. How are you feeling about that result?
Oh, so happy. I mean, so good to, medal, because obviously we really wanted to, and it was great, after all the work you put in.
Is that the medal?
Yeah.
So acrobatics, how long have you been doing it for, and why did you pick the sport?
I've been doing it it's my 8th year, I think, and I think my mum actually chose it for me because I was always, running around in cartwheels and stuff, and she didn't want me to do it and hurt myself, so.
I've been doing acro for 5 years now, and what got me into it was I used to do WAG, and one day my old kinder gym coach came over and asked me to try acro.
Wonderful. And it takes a lot of hours, I imagine, to get to the level you guys are at.
Yeah.
How many hours do you put in?
I put in, I think, 9 hours, but Liv?
I do 12 hours a week.
Wow. And there is different levels of competition. You've got state and nationals. Is there any difference in attitude or seriousness when you are going to these different levels?
I think definitely. I think for state, it's like, you work so hard, but you know that, you're only going to state, but for nationals, it's a bit more stressful. It's a bit scary, but it's all worth it because, when you know that you're in such a high position, you've beaten so many more people.
Who are some of the people that have inspired you?
Definitely my mum, I think, because, she drives me everywhere. I wouldn't get anywhere without her. She's so good. And Jazz, of course, she's been such a good coach. I've known her, forever, I think. She's coached me for so long. Really good inspiration.
Yeah, Jazz and my mum and Definitely Philly, who's come in the past few years and she's helped us perfect everything.
Got Facebook? Like us and be kept up to date with all the latest news, videos and photos. Well, that's it from us at GVTV, but tune in our next episode in December where we'll bring you highlights from the Women's State Victorian Championships from the arena in Geelong. Of course, we'll cover all the highlights with plenty of interviews from coaches and gymnasts, but until then, I'm Teresa Jafari and this is GVTV.